If you sell on Amazon and you struggle to increase your Amazon product rankings and grow sales, external off-Amazon traffic might be a solution. In this video, you will learn how to use Google advertising, publisher articles, and influencers to boost your visibility. Discover insider tips on getting featured in top articles and understand what are the costs involved if you go that route. You will also see a few real case studies of sellers using these strategies effectively. And if you need help with off-Amazon traffic to your Amazon listing, check the company called Mavericks. You'll find the link below in the description.
Hello, Kurt. I'm happy to welcome you to Orange Click YouTube channel to talk about external traffic and, more importantly, what are the best ways to drive external traffic depending where you are with your e-commerce business. So we're eager to learn more about it today. But before we go into the topic, could you first introduce yourself shortly and tell us also what Mavericks X is doing to help e-commerce sellers?
Awesome. Thanks for having us. My name's Kurt Hammerkauser. I'm Director of Sales here at Maverick X. Some people may know me from Seller Rocket. That's a sister company of ours. But at Maverick X, we focus on advertising for Amazon sellers through Google and through publications that are being sponsored, advertised.
Okay, and why do you think it's so important to talk about driving external traffic today for the sellers? Because I think a lot of Amazon sellers, for example, are not yet really using this way of driving more sales to their products.
You know, I think that Google ads to Amazon, there was that became popular for a little bit, but I think a lot of sellers tried it, didn't have success, and so they kind of just backed away from it and just continued to focus on Amazon. But Google or Amazon advertising is so expensive these days. It's so competitive. And, you know, there's also competitors that are not necessarily using white hat tactics. They're, using the black hat tactics to outrank you or, take you down, whatever. So external traffic is a way to, drive more eyeballs, clicks to your products on Amazon, helps you rank higher, less reliance on Amazon PPC. And usually if somebody's coming from Google or at least through a product recommendation article, they're going to have much more purchase intent. And so it's better conversion rate. And overall, just traffic in general to your listings is going to help you rank higher on Amazon. You're always going to see most of your sales happen on Amazon, not necessarily through external traffic. I'll get into this later in the presentation, but we normally drive 7 to 10% of a brand sales once we're fully up and running with the external traffic services that we provide. Okay,
sounds really good. And as you already briefly mentioned, we're not gonna talk only about Google Ads, but there are some other ways how to drive external traffic as well. So I know you prepared the slide deck for us as well to give us a few tips how to drive external traffic in a more effective way. So go ahead, share your screen, and we're ready to see what you have for us.
Perfect. All right. So Maverick X, we've been around many years. We started as publishers, and our team specializes in Google advertising. So at the publication where our team previously came from, Best Reviews is where one of our CEO was a founder. And so at Best Reviews, they drive mainly paid search traffic to their editorial content. And now we just rinse and repeat that same method of driving external traffic. Our team is very good at managing Google advertisements on very thin margins. Previously, before the brand referral bonus was introduced, the only way to earn commissions was the Amazon affiliate commission. And, depending on the category of the product and also depending on how much revenue a publisher drives to Amazon, they could have different percentages that Amazon will pay them. But specifically in like TVs, there's a very low commission on those products. And so we've noticed that there's not a lot of content for like what's the best TV. We actually don't support any TVs that I know of, but we do support 4,600 brands. So we do have quite a few products in our portfolio, and we've found this to be very successful at method for driving external traffic. What I'm going to go through today is going to be how you can drive external traffic as a newly launched product, how you can drive external traffic if you have between 100 and 500 reviews, I would categorize the next step as having strong reviews. It's different for every category. There are some categories that are extremely competitive, and strong reviews could be in the tens of thousands, whereas other categories, strong reviews might be, a couple hundred. So it really just depends on the category. And then category leaders, that usually like a household name, humongous brands that we all know, the go-to for a specific product category. So for newly launched products, we actually have the most trouble with newly launched products just because they don't have the social proof. So really, newly launched products should focus on getting customer reviews. But another way that you can really get off the ground is by creating social media content, either on TikTok or Instagram. There's plenty of direct-to-consumer brands that are not on Amazon that have built up their brand through this type of promotion. There's also grassroots social groups. I'm thinking like baby products. There's mom groups on Facebook that you could join and share your products that way, get instant feedback, and create your own following that way. You could also drive traffic through your own social media advertising or through Google advertising. But you could also reach out to small blogs and influencers. Small blogs and influencers, they're going to be more willing to take a product from you. Possibly leave a customer review or just review your product for their audience. Next, if you have between 100 and 500 reviews, at this point, your product's going to become more appealing to bloggers and influencers, possibly even some large publishers, depending on the category. Like I was saying earlier, some categories, you could have 500 reviews and you're kind of in the middle of the pack. You're doing well, especially new categories of products, new trending products. But as you can reach out to these bloggers, publishers, influencers, and you're going to start to have better traction. This is where we start to get traction with products. It's actually kind of tough to get products placed if they have less than 100 reviews. There's also software platforms that you can use to help you with outreach to publishers. I've spoken with so many service providers that provide this type of program where they're going to help sellers reach out to publishers, simplify their messaging, include the details that would be helpful, also help people follow up. I'm a career salesman, so following up is like second nature to me. And also keeping it short and simple is another way that you can get your message across to publishers. I was doing some research on the best ways to get in touch with publishers to get your products promoted, just to see what other information is out there on the internet. And one of the things that I found said, limit your messages to 50 characters or less. And I thought that was great. At Maverick X, we actually own a few publications. And so we get tons of outreach from brands and we see the types of messages that they send. And it's not uncommon for us to receive a message that's humongous. And it says like, these are all the reasons why you should feature my brand. Here's the sales that we're going to be having. Here's some product photos here. It's a lot. It's a lot to sort through. And as a publication, they're not really, it's more of a biased review if they just take exactly what you said and put that on their page. It's less of an honest review. So publishers actually don't like when you tell them what to say. They write what they want anyways. So once you have strong reviews, I would just categorize that as anything above 500. Of course, there are definitely categories where 500 is like you're at the kind of at the top, but bigger influencers and publishers are going to start to pick up your products organically. If you're in the top 100 for your subcategory, you're going to appeal to the content creators that want to recommend something new, which I have some examples later in the presentation that show like publishers definitely do try and, promote new products, fresh products, not just the same old brands that everyone knows. They want to have something unique to offer to to their subscribers, to the people that are visiting their website looking for a product recommendation. And also on social media, TikTok, people are always like, look at this new product that I have it's so amazing. We've never seen this before. You didn't know you could do this. It makes this so easy. Thinking of, I saw a video of a scrubber brush. It's like a electronic scrubber brush to help you with cleaning. And I just thought that was so cool. Actually, one of our clients sells one, and an influencer picked it up. They had incredible results in just 2 days after that influencer posted a YouTube video of it. So having something new is definitely appealing to content creators. But depending on how big your product portfolio is and how much outreach you're doing to content creators, it can become a lot of work, especially if you're also having to follow up a few times, to get a response. So those software platforms can be very helpful, or just kind of having a routine of outreach, follow up so many times, and then maybe give them a break, and then maybe try it again later, or try other avenues of contacting them. You can always comment on content creators, like a YouTube personalities. You can comment on their videos. Maybe you can get a response from that way, or reach out to them directly through email, or there's plenty of ways that you can find contact information for agencies, for content creators, publishers. LinkedIn is a good resource. Publications, those are professional content creators. So we really focus on publications, publishers, the people that are writing top 10 best articles. It's like the best heating pads of 2024, those types of articles. And some of those are like Good Housekeeping, People Magazine, especially those publications. They get hundreds, if not thousands, of emails every single day to every one of their writers, to every one of their editors, anybody that can be found on LinkedIn. So I think they are a bit overwhelmed, and that's why as I quoted what I found on the internet earlier, that keep your message to 50 characters or less. It really helps, or 50 words or less. All right, so for category leaders, you're most likely to get picked up by top publications and content creators. This is actually a kind of a mental shortcut for them. The products that are top ranked, they usually have a ton of reviews. Obviously, if they're top ranked, they sell like hotcakes. So it's an easy and a safe choice for publishers to feature them in their articles. And if you're a content creator, you're making a YouTube video or TikTok video, and you just want to cover some new category, maybe you're just trying to feature a variety of products, and maybe you've never featured X type of product. You've never featured water bottles. So you go look at water bottles and you're like, which one should I choose? You're probably just going to choose some of the top ranked products. It's a safe, easy choice. In our experience working with even like Fortune 500 companies, they may assume that they have the coverage that they need. They've been featured in Wirecutter. They've been featured in, New York Times. They're featured in Best Reviews. They're featured in Good Housekeeping, Better Homes and Gardens, The Spruce. Maybe they were featured at one time, but over time, those articles lose their SEO power. And so they're always getting replaced by new content. And also, those publishers are always looking for something new to feature. So there is a chance that even the most established brands can get replaced. So I think at this point, if you're a category leader, you should have some budget that you can spend on advertising, at least on this type of advertising. So working with a PR agency or an affiliate management agency can help maintain that placement in their content. This is exactly what we do at Maverick X, and this is what we do at Stellar Rocket as well. So just to recap, really the three main sources of traffic: social or influencers, advertising on Google, or working with publishers. Publishers are a little bit harder to get in touch with, but they drive consistent results, especially if a article ranks organically with their SEO. Every time somebody searches for that category of product, anytime they're doing research on what's the best brand I should buy if I'm buying a tent for camping. I don't know which one to buy. Should I buy the Coleman or should I buy the REI brand? So looking at articles is how a lot of people do research. And anytime I'm speaking with a friend and they tell me like, hey, I did a lot of research before buying this product, I'm like, how did you do research? Where'd you start? What'd you search? And to quote one of my friends, they said, I was looking at these products on Amazon. I realized they're a little bit more expensive than just, something I can just buy and feel happy about it. So they go to Google and then they look at the articles that are at the top of the page and then they make their choice from there. So there is a high percentage of customers that do research before making a purchase, and they go to Google for that. You're not going to find any, now that the Amazon editorial recommendations are no longer a thing, people do research outside of Amazon. Do you remember those Amazon editorial recommendations?
Yeah, actually, I haven't seen, is it still working or not anymore? Because I don't recall seeing them or hear other experts talking about them, but I do remember they were kind of hot and we also recorded videos about it.
Yeah. April 5th, 2023, Amazon ended that program, took all the recommendations down. So that was what SellerRocket had specialized in. Now, purely just focused on external traffic from very big publications. This is the kind of infographic I made of how consumers start their search when they're shopping online. So 56% of shoppers are going to start on Amazon, and then another 42% are going to start on Google. There's a few other ways like YouTube where people will search for products too that makes up the other percentage that's missing there. But if you're starting on Amazon, then you're looking at price and the number of customer reviews that a product has. And also you're not scrolling to page 3 or 4 unless you're just trying to find a needle in a haystack. So, organic ranking has a lot to do with whether or not your product even gets looked at. But I have another slide here later in the presentation that talks about how reviews really affect the conversion rate, even if you're coming from Google. If you're coming from Google, you're one of the 42% that start there. Those shoppers are going to start based on what's being recommended. But no matter what, whether you start on Google or start on Amazon, the customer has to look at the product listing. So having good customer reviews is essential to all of this. In our experience at Maverick X, what really helps to drive the most revenue is where you're ranked in the content. Your product listing has to be top notch, having a good amount of customer reviews, and based on the way that we promote products, having a price point of $30 or more really helps. We can definitely support products that are under $30, but and I'll explain the math here later, but it makes things tough, especially because there is usually a cost per click involved. So there needs to be a balance between the commission that a publisher is going to receive or your own conversion rate and how much you're spending on Amazon or on Google advertisements. Here's a good graphic to show how your ranking in the content affects your sales at least. So the first product in an article typically gets 70% of the clicks. And we know this from our experience as publishers at Best Reviews and across all the publications that we work with. The products at the top always get more clicks. And then it just goes down considerably as you go down the page. Second one usually gets 15%. Third one gets 10%. 4 through 10 get the remaining 5%. Here is a story about reviews. So we supported 2 brands that were in the same article. The product that was in the second position, so if I go back to that last slide, second position normally gets 15% of the clicks, fourth gets maybe 5. So in the second position, we had a Fortune 500 brand. They're a humongous brand. Everyone has one of their appliances in their home or knows somebody who does. It's a very common brand. And then we had an Amazon brand with 1,400 reviews in the fourth position. Fortune 500 brand, only 30 reviews. So you would think just based on the position in the article and how notable that brand is, how well known it is, it's going to sell so much more. But as it turned out, the conversion rate for the brand with 1,400 reviews was 7%, which is normal. That's a healthy conversion rate. The conversion rate for the Fortune 500 brand was 0.7%, 0.7. So 10 times better conversion rate for the Amazon brand with a healthy number of reviews. We're happy to support products with lower review counts, less than 100, but we just want to make sure that people understand, what to expect. We're going to drive traffic to your listing, but it might not convert that well until you have more reviews. Now I'm going to go through how publishers choose products. And I want to note, not all publishers have the same process. And this is just what we've witnessed, not necessarily the full, somebody may disagree with us. This is not how they choose products at all. But this is just what we've seen, what we hear from brands, and what we can infer based on the conversion rates for certain link types and commonly selected products across a lot of publications. So the way that publishers can select products, they can choose their own products, of course, but that requires them to know these brands off the top of their head. And who knows, 10 to 12 brands in the same category that they can list off. They're going to have to do some searching to find, what's even applicable. There's also affiliate platforms, PR agencies, direct brand relationships, and then also the hundreds of emails that they get every single day from brands. SellerRocket or MaverickX, we fall into like the affiliate platforms or PR agency kind of column. We reach out to publishers constantly. We have relationships with these publishers. We're sending them lists of products, but we're one of many sources. So, and also publishers, they are making their own choices. It's their editorial integrity. They're not just going to take payment to place a product in an article. Although I will show you, they will. In some cases, there are programs that they have where they will take payment to place a product through the direct brand relationships. But usually working with a brand directly is going to take so much more back and forth, so much conversation. It takes time to actually curate good content that aligns with the brand and also aligns with the publishers, their brand. They want to make sure that the content is written with the publisher's voice. There's definitely a certain voice for some publications. I think of BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed has really interesting articles all the time. Some of their articles are 37 products you didn't know you needed, but you gotta buy them right now. They always have the best headlines. I love finding them on social media. The products that a publisher chooses to feature in their content are a representation of their brand. If it's a bad product that people find out has lead in it, it's poisoning children, they don't want to recommend that product to people as like, this is the top choice. And also if a product has like 4 reviews and it's the number one choice and you've never heard of the brand before, it sounds fishy. Like, why are they recommending this product? Where did this product come from? Not to say it's impossible, but to me, I would feel suspicious of the product, and maybe this is some sort of advertisement or something. They took a lot of money from this brand to place it here at the top. That's what I would assume. Again, top ranked products, kind of a mental shortcut for good products. It's if it's gotten a ton of customer reviews, obviously people like it. It's hard to fake tens of thousands of reviews, especially with Amazon's review policies these days. You can't just spam the review button and then rank higher. It doesn't work that way. Amazon is also preferred because it has a very high conversion rate. In our experience, the conversion rate when the link goes to Amazon is about 13% across all the publications that we've worked with, all the publications that we own. It's around 13%. Some, depending on the brand, it may be more, but what we've witnessed is about 13%. If a publisher is not linking to Amazon, it's probably going to have a high price point. And that's because they know the conversion rate is going to be lower. But if it's linking to a brand's website, then they're gonna have more margin usually. I speak with a lot of Amazon sellers and they say, man, if you could just direct traffic to my website, I can offer you so much more commission because I don't have all these Amazon fees to pay. So it's a very common ask to link to a brand's website, but the conversion rate sometimes isn't there. So, and also nobody gets to tell the publishers what to write, which products to choose. It is their choice to put a product into an article. So it's not pay to play. This is kind of an infographic I got from Genius Link. It says 10 to 20% for Amazon.com is the conversion rate. And then they don't have Walmart on here. I don't think they have like Home Depot down at the other side. Or some of these other Bass Pro Shops, Macy's, Apple Services, Chewy, Target. I'm sure Walmart fits in there with Chewy and Target, the 2 to 5% range, but 10 to 20% is what it says for Amazon.com, and 5 to 10% for all the other Amazon marketplaces. So it's not just me making that stat up. It's known widely that Amazon converts better. And a lot of links are going to go to Amazon as well. The Amazon affiliate program is incredible. Pays good commissions relative to all the other marketplaces out there. So many publications choose to link to Amazon just because they're going to get paid by Amazon. And they don't even have to have a relationship with the brand at all. They can just choose the products, insert their affiliate link, put it on their website. And if anybody follows that link, they're going to earn a commission. Here's a good example from Good Housekeeping, where I went through and I logged each product that was in the article and the price and where the link is going. So in this Best Sheets for Your Bed article from Good Housekeeping, the first one is Brooklinen. The product is $160 going to the brand's website. I know they have much higher priced items at Brooklinen. I'm sure it's amazing products. I can't even imagine what a $500 pair of sheets is going to feel like. It's probably great. Next in the list is California Design Den, $34, 78,000 reviews. It's going to convert well. Milani, another Amazon brand, $34, 340,000 reviews. Incredible. The other products that are here in this article, they're usually $150 to $200 for all of these. So what I was saying earlier, if it's not going to Amazon, they're going to choose a product with a very high price point because, if they're getting a 10% commission from the brand, 10% of $230 is better than, $30. So the commission that they're going to get is going to try and help balance out the conversion rate. They've got Amazon Basics in here with 400,000 reviews, down pretty far. And then it looks like they've taken a risk here. Maybe a risk. I don't know. Maybe they tried these sheets and they thought they were really great. But Delilah Home is here, $199 product on Amazon. It has 6 reviews. I actually looked at this back in March. I had logged these products that were in the article. They've updated it since then. If you look over here, it says updated June 5th for the article. Publishers update their articles constantly. It may be quarterly, it could be every month, it could be once a year. Every publisher operates differently, and if they have a recommendation for zip ties, they may not update that article very frequently. But last time I looked at Delilah Home, they had 4 reviews, so they've gotten another 2 reviews in the last couple months. This is a really great article, though. Top quality brands, high price point. They're going to get a high commission. And brands can also offer a higher commission if the traffic is going to their website. So I have no idea what the commissions are here, but if they don't have a direct relationship with the brand, they're likely getting these products from an affiliate platform. CJ, Impact, Share a Sale, Awin, those are all very popular affiliate platforms. But they're all for direct consumer. They don't support Amazon products. Here's another example from the Chicago Tribune. This is actually Best Reviews, where our company's founders came from. We actually no longer work with Best Reviews. They've been sold a few times for over $100,000 each time. So very successful exit. And they're a very successful publisher. They helped to pilot the Amazon editorial recommendations program. But the products that they chose here, Stiga, number 6, 3,456 reviews. Butterfly, number 15, 1,400 reviews. Killer Spin, number 58, 617 reviews. Expert Table Tennis, this, to me, what I'm seeing here is basically top 10 brands are in here with a ton of reviews, and then they wedged one in there that they want to give some more traffic to. The Expert Table Tennis product that's ranked 205, has 192 reviews. This is a product that we would want to support too. I love supporting brands that, you know, need extra traffic. You know, they're doing everything right. Maybe they're just not the top brand yet. We love helping challenger brands, is what I would call them. They're challenging the status quo here. All right, so next I'm going to go through what it costs to work with a publisher directly. And I want to make a disclaimer here. We don't want to bash their processes or their pricing models. It seems expensive to me, but these are humongous brands. This could be like Good Housekeeping. I don't have any Good Housekeeping examples in here, but of their pricing and what it costs to work with them directly. But you know, all the payments that these publishers take helps to fund their newsrooms. But we love publishers. We want to see them thrive. These examples are only to provide insights. The brand's interested in working with publishers directly. All right, so let's look at this pricing model here. So for a dedicated newsletter with this publisher, depending on the vertical, can cost anywhere from $10,000 to $75,000 or $27,000, $27.75,000. Placement sponsored, their sponsored sweeps package. You get one newsletter and one editor's pick post. Packages start at $50,000. Instagram stories, $10,000 per frame. To get on their story with one that, you know, I when I'm looking at Instagram stories, I'm usually just tapping through all of them. You know, if I see something catches my eye, I might go back and look at it a little bit deeper. But $10,000 for every frame sounds like a lot, but for the right brand, this could be what takes them to the next level. Here's another one for Q4 gift guides. This actually could drive some really great results, especially, you know, during the holidays. Prime Day is another. We actually had a brand featured in a Prime Day article. They drove over $1 million in 2 days. So this could totally be worth it, especially if you get those types of results. $10,000 for a placement in the primary placement. You know, tier 2, $7,500, tier 3, $3,000 per placement. $7,500 to $15,000 per placement for the sale posts. A branded commerce post, $25,000 per post, or $30,000 per post. And a lot of times, publishers will also charge a percentage of sales as well. Here's another one for a custom branded article, $30,000. You'll get 30% increase in cost per acquisition for 60 days across all sales. The article is guaranteed to be live for at least a year. And you get a custom disclaimer at the top of the article saying, hey, this is a sponsored post. Like, you know, publishers don't want to be pay to play, but they will help, you know, advertise your brand if you're going to work with them directly. A native ad, $10,000, $5,000 for an additional month. You get 2 months for both placement and the cost per acquisition cost, 30% increase. $15,000 for a custom email. This could be great, you know, if you're, depending on the publication, how much of an authority figure they are. I know Better Homes and Gardens, if they were to feature like a pillow, I'm thinking pillows because I see this over here, but you know, if they feature a pillow and Better Homes and Gardens says this is the best pillow you will ever lay your head on, I'm going to be intrigued. I might want to buy it, and you know, unless it's absurdly expensive, you know, I'd be very interested in trying it. but that's just me personally. Someone else might see it, and if it's $1,000 pillow, they might be like, I'm sold. I want to try that $1,000 pillow. Publishers can also do push notifications, depending on the publisher, of course. $5,000 for them to push a notification that, an advertisement directly to people's phones about your product. You're going to get some eyeballs. Everyone checks their phone usually within 2 minutes of getting a notification. So I think these slides are very interesting. Kind of talks through, this is from one publisher, kind of talks through common questions they get. Like, are there any product restrictions? Some publications are going to restrict certain categories. Maybe it's not on brand for them. They don't want to talk about CBD or sexual wellness. This publisher. Their in-house editorial team has final say in all content. What assets do you need? None. That's what they said. They don't send us all the images that you want included. We'll take care of that. And then, not required, but they'll take promotional information, link IDs. If they are going to ask for images, they want them in a certain size. If you have a celebrity or influencer that recommends your products, to be able to mention that celebrity or influencer, they need legal approval. So they need written permission from the celebrity or the influencer. Can you include a non-affiliate link? I assume this means a backlink to a brand's website. Sometimes. Really depends. And then availability, 1 to 2 weeks in advance is what they ask for. Earlier the better in Q4. In our experience, publishers plan their content 1 or 2 months in advance. So always the earlier the better. If it's the day before, the week before Prime Day, you're too late. Sorry, you should have been thinking about this earlier. I always I send out a lot of emails to brands, and I'm always asking them, hey, get us your deal information ahead of time. Let us know that you want to get your product featured in editorial content well ahead of your season. If you're a seasonal product, if you sell a lawnmower, we'll work on getting your product placed if you're talking to us in December. But there's going to be a lot more content written about lawnmowers in the springtime. So it's still perfect time, in my opinion. If you're going to talk to me in December about your lawnmower, perfect. We're at least ahead of schedule. So once those publishers start writing about lawnmowers, they'll be asking us, hey, do you guys have any lawnmower products that we could support, that you're going to pay us additional commissions on? We'll say, yeah, we've got Joe's lawnmower here that you can feature in your article. We think it's great. We already pre-vetted this product for you. It's fantastic product. And then it's up to the publisher to choose whether or not to include it. Can I get a preview? Yes. You get 1 round of edits. They don't want to go back and forth with you for 2 weeks. Like, hey, can you phrase what you wrote like this or like this? They want to make sure it's written in the publisher's voice. Will you guarantee coverage in exchange for products? No, not guaranteed. It's the editor's choice. Our team that was at Best Reviews, they have stories of, they had like a room full of products that brands had sent them, out of the blue. They were not expecting to receive this package. They just sent them their product, hoping to get featured in a recommendation article. And so at a certain time of the year, they needed to clean out that room because they didn't have time to fit those products into their review schedules. So they end up tossing around the air fryers and, say, who needs an air fryer? Here you go. Probably a great Christmas party. So, you can get examples of where the content lives. It's if you're going to pay the publisher additional commissions, no, not guaranteed. It's the editor's choice. That's the case for us at Maverick and at Seller Rocket. We can't even guarantee your placement with, I'm going to keep using Good Housekeeping as an example. They are not one of the examples in any of these. But if we wanted to get a product placed by Good Housekeeping, we offer them additional commissions. There's no guarantee that they're going to pick up the product. It's up to them to choose to feature it. Can I buy a newsletter, homepage, or social placement without an article purchase? Nope. and then it gives contact information. At Maverick, we can handle all of this for you. We're a done-for-you service, so we handle managing all the affiliates. We manage all the commissions with the publishers. You know, we've simplified our outreach to being just what the publishers need. We don't want to get in their way of creating more content. We don't want to bury them in Excel files trying to, sort through products and commissions and whatnot. So we just make it as easy as possible for them to choose products that we're representing, so they can focus on creating good content. This is kind of the Maverick method here of how we drive traffic through articles. We advertise all of our content. Some of it may also rank organically, but for the most part, it's all advertised. So in this example, Best Inflatable Hot Tub, there's 2 publications that we own here ranked at the top of the page. So by advertising it, we are not reliant on SEO. We can rank at the top of a much wider array of search terms, all with very high purchase intent that customers are going to use when they're looking to buy, not just trying to find out what is an inflatable hot tub. They're looking for the best one. They definitely have a high purchase intent. This is a very simple example, adding best before a search term. There's so many more search terms that a customer can use when they're doing research on this type of product. Here's some results that we've driven for one of our clients. This is just one slide from one of our many decks that we have. But this external traffic does improve your bestseller ranking. It looks like there's 5 products here. Number 4 was previously unranked and it jumped to the 4th position. Or I guess that's product 3. It's red. There's 8 products. Sorry. So product number 3 in the red, it was previously unranked and it jumped to the 4th position overall, improving from the 5th to the 1st, 20th up to the 5th. These are great improvements, going from $299 in your category to $150. And these are meaningful results. You're going to earn so much more revenue being ranked at the top of your category. All right, so this is a bedsheet brand that we worked with. It's a very strong brand. They started out at 20%. We're happy to work with any brand at the commission level that works for them. But after almost a year of working together, they wanted to see how much more can we drive for them. They were usually seeing about $20,000 a month outside of the holidays. The October Prime Day was a huge lift for them. November, December, the holidays, also much more sales during those months. And so in March of this year, we got them to increase their revenue share to 30%. Keep in mind, there is the brand referral bonus subsidizing the cost. So to the brand, this is only costing them 20% of sales, which is cheaper than a lot of Amazon advertisements these days. We actually work with a lot of brands and we see what their advertising cost is, their ACoS, and 20% is very low. So they increased their revenue share to 30%, and that took their sales to the moon. Google ads have remained consistent at $10,000 each month, usually $10,000. But then once they increased their revenue share to 30%, we got them up to $25,000 just from Maverick Plus, was what we call the program with the editorials. $27,000. They got up to $50,000 in May, $50,000 again in June. And then this brand also, they had really great results for Prime Day. It would have gone off the chart here. Here's another one, air purifiers. There's kind of a war going on with air purifier advertisements, but this is a really great product. Ever since COVID, since the wildfires that had been happening out west, I heard about them more last year, but it's a higher price point item. People are definitely going to do a little bit more research before just, spending their money on, and then finding out, oh, this product's not great. It's not working, So, the higher the price point, the more people are going to, consider their options before making a purchase. This is a perfect product for us to represent. Every month they see, over $100,000 in revenue driven through articles that we've placed them in. and that we're driving advertising traffic to. Travel products, this one's really great. This is a long-term client. They've clearly used our services well over a year here. They started out with Google Ads. That was what we started with, was just Google Ads. Then we realized, hey, this doesn't work for everybody. Some products are just not a very good fit for Google advertisements that go directly to the product or to the storefront. But if we were to put them through an editorial, like a top 10 recommendation, performs much better, drives more revenue. This brand actually has done very well with Google advertisements. Their product is very niche. It fits a very specific purpose. It's a medical related travel product. So if you need this type of product, I think this is probably one of the only options out there. So you find one, you're going to get it. I think the other option for this product is like using ice packs, and it's like a cooler for your medication. So instead of stuffing a few ice packs and your medicine into a suitcase, get one of these products. June through August is their peak season. Google changed their algorithms at some points, which actually was great for Maverick because a lot of publishers lost their SEO rankings, but the advertisements stayed at the top. So we continue to drive more traffic through Google advertising. SEM means search engine marketing if you're looking here on these pages. But now we drive more revenue than ever. They get about $17,000 through Maverick Plus, and then through Google advertising, we drive almost $20,000 for them in their peak season. So this client's been great. We really love them. They're a really great example of how we can dominate the search results with Google advertising, editorial recommendations that are advertised, organically ranked articles. They're just really great. So Maverick X, that's Google Ad Management for Amazon. We're going to do it all for you. Our dashboard connects the Google cost with Amazon attribution data, so we know how every single keyword is performing, the conversion rate, the ACoS, how much has been spent. You have a dedicated account manager. Again, we do it all for you. We optimize the campaigns for conversions, not just clicks or impressions. And you're also getting the 10% brand referral bonus. So what we charge to manage Google Ads is $10 for each parent ASIN as a fixed monthly fee. And then 10% of the sales that we drive. So you're getting that credited right back to you by Amazon. So really great for having professionals manage your Google Ads. Another thing that gives us an advantage here is that we use our Google Ads console to manage everyone's ads, which Google is going to feed better traffic to more established advertisers. So the more spend that goes through the account, the more account history that it has. We A/B tested this at Best Reviews using the old Best Reviews account and then using a brand new account that we started. The old account always performed so much better. And so we've had some brands, they'll see the keywords that we use and they say, okay, well, we're going to try this ourselves. Sorry, we're going to cancel the service. And then they come back a couple months later like, hey, we weren't able to achieve the same results, even with the same keywords. Why is that? And we're like, well, because we have so much more scale. Google recognizes us as a more serious advertiser. And so we get better traffic. Maverick Plus is the service that we call for the sponsored editorial recommendations from major publications. It's publications that we own, publications that we manage advertising for, and there's some publications that we partner with. And how we price this is there's no fixed fees, no platform fees. You're not going to pay a fixed monthly fee just to use our service. It's purely performance pricing. And the advertising budget is provided by the publisher. You don't pay for any of the ads. The publisher covers the advertising spend. So the pure performance pricing, the percentage of sales that we would charge is going to the publisher to fund this advertising campaign. And the more commission we can provide to the publisher, the more they can advertise. So it's not to profit outrageously. It is. And we have fair pricing anyways, because it's even at a 30% revenue share, with the 10% brand referral bonus, it's 20% of sales to the brands. So many brands, almost every brand we look at, their Amazon advertising cost is higher. It's a higher percentage of their sales than 20%. So it's cheaper than Amazon ads. Oh, and then I've got a thank you page here. So I guess we can turn this around for questions if you have any, or...
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was very interesting to learn more about driving external traffic in different ways, not just using Google Ads, which is something probably Amazon sellers know mostly about. I wanted to ask regarding publishers, is it usually, once you get the first collaboration with the publisher, is it usually like one-time project, or is it possible to somehow build like a relationship and gets published more easily in the future, or is it rather rare it works like this?
I think it really depends. I've spoken with tons of brands that have gotten in contact with a writer or an editor at a certain magazine, and they develop a personal relationship with that person. In those cases, yeah, you could get featured more often. But the bigger the publisher, the more outreach that they're receiving, and you're kind of becoming a needle in the haystack. So, and they want to, the products that they choose are going to be a representation of their brand. So they're going to want to make sure that they're really choosing the best products, the products that they truly think are the best. And it's so often I speak with Amazon sellers, and they think that their product is the best thing since sliced bread. This is the most amazing product. This is going to revolutionize the world. And maybe that's a little farther from reality, but, not to say it's not a great product.
I see. Well, a couple of times during this presentation, you also mentioned about the outreach message and the length of it. It's rather short. So what would be kind of your recommendation? What should sellers include in those 50 characters or 50 words you mentioned?
I would say, hey, this is my product. These are the certain niche that it fits. If I can pay you additional commissions, hey, what would you like? I don't know. Just leave it up to them. I think just sharing a good product is really all you need to do. Needs to be attention grabbing, just say as little as possible. They have so many emails to sort through. If you can quickly catch their attention in a very short email, and leave it up to them. Don't tell them what they need to write. Don't tell them what they need to say. Just, let them do their job. That's what they do this professionally. They do this all day, every day. There's 1,000 other products they're trying to review at the same time. So the shorter the message, the better.
And if you are an e-commerce seller or Amazon seller watching this video, if you have any questions about this topic, leave them also down below under the video, because then we can ask Kurt or another team member to come back to the video and answer and help you as well. Thanks again for joining me today. For all of the sellers who would like to have a service like yours, we have all of the contact information and link in the video description below as well, because we know Amazon sellers especially are usually very busy. Q4 is coming up as well, but of course the service is needed all all year around, because not everybody is only selling a lot in Q4, but also other times of the year. So Kurt, thanks again for joining me, and I hope to see you soon again.
Thank you for having me.
I hope this video will help you to get ideas on how you can boost your product ranking on Amazon by using off-Amazon traffic. And if you'd like to get some help in this area, reach out to Mavericks. They will be happy to help you, and you will find their link below in the description. If you have additional questions about off-Amazon traffic, leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. And now I would like to recommend you to watch other video where you will learn how to optimize your listings to rank better with AI, artificial intelligence powered search algorithms. Enjoy.